It is exciting to think about innovation as a tribute to your origins, an ode to those who have been there before you. It brings a feeling of duty to dare to push your own limits, to defeat the borders of time, and bring us inventions that should belong to a different era, embody the dreams of those we honor, to redefine who we are, and craft the chapter of glory. The world awaits, and we have not forgotten who we are or where we want to be. We stand up on a legacy. It is time we set sail and fulfill the legend.
Hello, everybody. We are Daniel Aguilera and Luis Anton from the business team, and it's our pleasure today to welcome you to the unveiling of the University of Michigan Solar Car Team 18th car, Millennium. When you join the University of Michigan Solar Car Team, you usually hear many facts and figures about the team, about the past success, facts that we usually use to introduce the team to other people, and possibly heard it in many of our pitches. But the team is essentially one of the biggest teams on campus. We've won 10 national championships and been in the international podium. I've been in the international podium not once, not twice, but 8 times. But if in my short time in the team, I've learned one thing, is that these numbers don't come close to describe how special the University of Michigan Solar Car Team is.
Indeed. And you can't really understand it until you feel it in person. This team has, over the years and the generations, built a culture and environment that surrounds everything we do. The people at the University of Michigan Solar Car Team, our team members, are people who tackle challenges. They're problem solvers. They're people who never turn the blind eye to an innovation, a possibility of improvement. We have trust and faith in what we do because those who came before us have laid the foundations of what it means to build a solar car, of what it means to be a part of this team. So yes, as you saw in the video, Millennium is an ode to those who came before us. But it is so because even if the years go by, their knowledge, and even a bit of their personal fingerprint, still remains very much a part of it.
And we're very lucky to be supported by those who both share this mentality in their vision and their mission. US Steel, Ford, Roush, Siemens, our platinum sponsors, will hear from you soon. But we wanted to address you and thank you for making all of this possible. It was safe to say that our history cannot be told without Ford, that our car wouldn't have been designed without Siemens or made without Roush, or that this project would not be the same without US Steel's support. Thank you.
To our new gold sponsors, DTE, NPower GreenTech, Optivolt, Formlabs, and TE Connectivity. Thank you for believing in us and joining our team. During one of our first meetings with DTE, one of your team members stated, "This partnership makes sense." And we couldn't agree more. We are beyond proud to partner with a sustainability-oriented Michigan-based company.
And similarly, we're honored to working with a local company, NPower GreenTech, to power Millennium's light and ultra-low resistance batteries. Battery cells that will be connected with TE Connectivity's ultra-efficient contactors and connectors. And we're also working with our sponsors to deliver plentiful new innovations. We're working with Optivolt to put a first-of-its-kind power electronic hardware on its car. More of this after. And with Formlabs to print our engineering dreams so that they can be realized straight to our car.
And to our returning gold sponsors, Amazon Web Services, Bose, Chroma, Hapag-Lloyd, Fiaro, Saturn Electronics, Vortec, Procam, and Vector. Thank you for your unwavering generosity. I can still remember the joy I felt when I first saw one of our beautiful plugs milled by Fiaro, or the smile in our electrical engineering's faces when each one of our printed circuit boards from Saturn Electronics comes in. not to mention how cleanly all of our parts manufactured by Wartec Engineering look, or how incredible our parts from ProCup seem.
We're lucky enough this year to have the chance to amplify our testing and optimization more than ever before. Chroma has powered our most complete suite of battery tests yet, while Amazon Web Services has enabled us to run hundreds of thousands of hours of aerodynamic optimizations. And we're also grateful for Vector's Canoe, which has allowed us to implement and troubleshoot CAN extremely effortlessly.
And as members of Race Crew Operations, it's safe to say that we've spent a lot of hours in the container that was now shipped by Hapag-Lloyd. Thank you for enabling our journey to Australia. And also, I guess I don't have to convince anybody that my personal journey to Australia will improve significantly with my new Bose headphones.
Yeah, for sure. and lastly, I wanted to make a special comment to Chak and Ann Hutchins, whose support has been the bedrock for us throughout. We have had the pleasure of hearing many stories through multiple past alumni. Your presence is felt. You're an essential part of who we are. We truly hope that Millennium is a worthy ode to everything you mean to this team.
So to finish up, we'd like to quote our team manager, Matthew Anderson. When we were planning this event, we were sitting in the huddle room, thinking about our theme and thinking about how we were going to honor our past. He sat down and he told us, our team stands in the shoulder of giants. I think both Danny and I agree that we are incredibly lucky to be here today, to have the chance to honor the legacy of these giants, to be supported by companies and individuals who continue to believe in these giants. And I guess above all, to look around, more specifically today, to the left of to my left of the stage, the right of the audience, and be surrounded by our race crew, my friends, our friends, who already are a team filled with giants. Thank you, and welcome to the unveiling of Millennium.
Millennium was designed in Ann Arbor, assembled in Michigan, and raced across the world.
From designing custom PCBs with industry-grade software to assembling and testing Millennium's full electrical suite, the Wilson Center gives us the space to develop our electrical systems from concept to reality, whether we're soldering components, debugging hardware, or running system checks. Having a dedicated space like this with both the tools and the software that we rely on, the Wilson Center makes projects like this possible.
In the Wilson Center, we work side by side other engineering project teams to push the boundaries of what we can build. The variety of machines provided to us by Wilson, paired with comprehensive training, enables all members of our manufacturing team to have a hand in crafting the car that will ultimately race in Australia. With this space, we're able to build a wide variety of things, ranging from a steel frame mule car to our giant composites molds, engaging the team at every step. The College of Engineering not only provides us with a space to build, they also equip us with the foundational knowledge needed to design a world-class solar car. With advisors who help us identify our toughest problems, ensure our team runs efficiently, and supports us in solving complex logistical issues, the College of Engineering prepares us to best compete in the World Solar Challenge. We are extremely grateful for your support. Welcome, COE.
Thank you very much. I'm Harvey Bell, Professor of Engineering Practice, Faculty Co-Director of the Multidisciplinary Design Program, and Faculty Advisor to the solar team. So I've been working with solar car teams probably since 2011, and it's hard to describe the passion and the effort that these students put into the creation of the solar car. This team, in creating Millennium, had some extra challenges. Typically, the race has been run in October. The ruling body decided this year for 2025 to move the race to August. That created lots of additional challenges for the team to overcome, because typically in the past, when the race has been October, as soon as the winter semester is over, the middle of April, race crew steps out and then takes over in building the car. This time, the car started and the race crew started in January, Students had to take a minimal amount of credit, some of them through the multidisciplinary design program, so that was a win for everybody. But from the time the rules dropped a little over a year ago in June, they've been on this dead run to be able to compete in August. And it's also hard to get people to understand just the passion. Well, you see the race crew here today and alumni. You go through design reviews, which typically are on Sunday afternoons, and you see 120 students during the semesters sitting in a big lecture hall doing design reviews, past members calling in, critiquing the design, and everybody trying to keep making the next vehicle, Millennium, better and bringing in all the new concepts, integrating them, and then having it ready to roll so that they have development time, testing time, before they have to ship their container off, which contains all the tools. That's got to go on a ship, and then they air freight the vehicle to Australia. And while all this is going on, the passion, you know, I've come into the Wilson Center and the second floor up in the area up there where there are a lot of workbenches over the years and found students asleep under the workbenches. The passion is hard to describe. More importantly, it's the fact that this team is a combination of students from just about every college in the university. The very first program manager that I worked with was a neuroscience student, went on to become a pediatrician. And so there's Roush students, LS&A students, just a wide variety, and they create in a team environment with a multidisciplinary team where they've got to learn from each other, teach each other, the younger students learn from the older students. The educational benefit that these students derive, I contend from an experiential engineering education benefit is unsurpassed anywhere else in the world. The other thing that people need to appreciate is their competition that they keep trying to surpass are European teams that are graduate students. And at these universities in the Netherlands, they can take the whole semester, and doing the solar car is their graduate course for the semester. So we've got these bright young undergraduate students that are really passionate, working on a large team and emulating what's going to make their careers successful. So my hat's off to this particular team working under a tremendous amount of timeline pressure and then delivering this car on a much shorter time, and probably is easily the most complex vehicle that solar cars ever been produced. So, like they say, go fast and go blue.
You guys should know Professor Bell popping into his office, you know, on a random Thursday when he's in there is like one of my most cherished parts of solar cars. So he's a very special person to us, and thank you for your speech, Professor Bell. Good evening. My name is Matthew Anderson. I have the immense honor of serving as the team manager for this year's Bridgestone World Solar Challenge. I want to thank, first of all of you for joining us in this special moment. I think many of you have witnessed just the amount of sacrifice that goes into this, and so you know just how much it means to us to be able to finally share Millennium with you. For the next few minutes, I want to tell you what Millennium really is. And yeah, it's a solar-powered race car. It's our sleekest and most refined bullet car yet. But more than anything, Millennium, I would say, is a love letter, written in carbon fiber and sunbeams, coated with fingerprints from 100 late nights. It's a thank you letter powered by sunburns, purple Red Bull, and the kind of obsession that only this team really understands. This team has been racing since 1989, which means we've been racing for over 35 years. Across that time, each generation has passed down something to the next. Sometimes it's a suspension design or a smarter code base, but more often it's something deeper, their belief in us. Not just belief that we'd light the torch, but that it could burn even brighter, that we could reimagine, rebuild, and reinvent with our own voice and in our own hands. And that belief, it's not abstract. It has texture. It shows up in handwritten notes, in old documentation, in alumni who take late night calls and remind us, you've got this. In stories not just about victories, but more importantly, in mistakes and recoveries and impossible days made impossible only by each other. It looks like courage, like the 1990 team who dared to dream and built a solar car from scratch. I can't imagine doing that today without them. It looks like resilience, like the 2001 team who totaled their car 18 days before the American race and rebuilt it in time to win. It looks like boldness, like the 2017 team who trusted a radical new architecture, the bullet car, which we're lucky enough to continue using today. The legacy left by those before us sets an incredibly high bar. With Millennium, we work to meet it with intention, drawing from the lessons we learned while defining our own voice. We trimmed what wasn't essential, we pushed where it mattered, and we committed to a design that's as elegant in purpose as it is in form. Millennium is our most minimalist car yet. But it's also a lot more than a car, because it's a reflection of 150 undergraduate students working in tandem. Many of them were in high school last year, over a third. They were responsible for suspension geometry, for circuit boards, for the entire operations pipeline. And they rose, because students rise when you believe in them. And that's really the not-so-secret magic of this team, is that we're not just building a car, we're building people. Engineers here don't worry if their professor will give them an A, although Professor Bell did give me one. They worry if the driver will survive a collision. Ops doesn't just book flights, they manage a pop-up caravan in the outback. Strategy doesn't just crunch numbers, they have a whole simulation of the sun and the weather in real time with meteorology and custom software. And I think the wildest part, as Professor Bell said, is that we do all this while still going to class. But why? Why trade weekends and sleep and occasionally your sanity? Because every time we work, we see this responsibility staring back at us. Because we know we owe our best not only to each other, but also to everyone who came before us and to all of those who stand beside us. Our sponsors. You're not just logos on a car. You're partners, mentors, believers. You lend us your expertise, your patience, your time, sometimes your hardware, which I've broken once or twice, and always your trust. When you support this team, you're not just funding a car, you're shaping the people who build it and who will one day build our future. So yeah, Millennium is about performance and speed and efficiency, but it's much more about character, because in a race where we'll face colder nights, less sun, and a smaller battery than ever before, what will carry us through isn't just our design, it's our spirit, our willingness to work, our belief that the hardest challenges yield the deepest growth. I say often that we chase the sun not because it's easy, but because it's hard, and more importantly, because it's ours. Not because we're engineers, but honestly because we're romantics. Millennium is our answer to the question, what if we gave everything we had to something that asked everything of us? It's our promise to those who came before, those who stand beside, and those who cheer us on. We draw strength from your example, we walk beside you with pride, and we race into the future together. Thank you.
This is Millennium, and this is our 2025 race crew. Hello, my name is Ian Baker. I'm the crew chief and systems engineering lead for the team. In this role, I coordinate the broader engineering team to produce a car which is safe, performant, and reliable. Our 18th car, Millennium, is a three-wheeled monocoque equipped to handle the 2025 World Solar Challenge. Our fifth iteration of the Bullet car, Millennium is the most advanced solar car we have ever built. For the first time, the World Solar Challenge is being held in August, winter in the Australian outback. Despite this, our team is pushing to be faster than ever before. Building upon the systems engineering process started with our 17th car, Astrum, we dove deep into a thorough vehicle energy budget to meet our ambitious goal. From this energy budget, our mandate for safety, and vision for the next Michigan solar car, we began deriving requirements for Millennium's design. System by system, we developed targets for aerodynamic drag, solar power collection, component weight, powertrain efficiency, and so on. And then came the time to design, analyze, redesign, and manufacture. Just as we built upon the systems design process from Astrum, we looked to past teams and embraced ideas old and new. Following lessons from Sunrunner, the team's first car, and its balanced trade-off between aerodynamic shape and solar collection, we built out Astrum's analysis toolchain for vehicle dynamics, weather, and energy to a higher resolution than we've ever done before. This allowed us to refine clear metrics for vehicle stability for the new Australian road conditions and make data-based compromises between inter-system trade-offs. Taking inspiration from the highly optimized composites of 2015's Orem, for the first time, we integrated a composite roll structure into the aerodynamic shell of the vehicle. This saved weight and produced a stronger part overall. Embracing quantum, simple elegance, we reorganized the architecture of the vehicle, removing both mechanical and electrical systems to overall simplify the design, without compromising on reduction of function. We carried forward Infinium's attitude of innovation, designing Millennium to rival the aerodynamics of previous Bullet cars despite its increased size, and installing the most efficient solar electric powertrain we've ever installed on a solar vehicle. By rediscovering lessons from 35 years of solar racing, we push into 2025 having achieved more than we ever thought possible. But bringing Millennium to life would be an insurmountable task without tools to transition from ideas and requirements to optimized designs validated through simulation. Our team uses programs like Siemens NX, Siemens Star CCM+, and Altair HyperWorks to bring our wildest dreams into reality.
Designing our car starts with a single goal, winning the World Solar Challenge. This goal quickly sharpens into precise details, from the overall dimensions of our car down to the nuts and bolts that hold it together. As an engineer, the ability to visualize designs is critical to making our dreams come true.
Everything in the car needs modeled, including the electrical systems. I personally use NX to design the high voltage system, including the battery and other systems. I can use NX to create parts from the ground up or import parts that are created by our manufacturers. And then I can use other built-in tools like assemblies and wire routing to put them all together or run wires throughout our car so I know exactly where they'll be in real life.
Siemens NX is more than just a tool. It's the environment where our car takes shape, just like Millennium, Astrum, Avum, and Nova. In this design space, our journey began, and today we embark on a new chapter. However, we don't forget where our dreams first took shape. Welcome, Siemens.
Hello, everybody. My name is Jim Ryan, and I'm representing Siemens here tonight. Up until about 2 months ago, I was a global academic program leader for another high-tech software company, Altair, international company, but started here in Michigan by a local gentleman, so local boy done well. Starting in March of this year, Siemens acquired Altair, and we are really excited to bring our technology together to our commercial customers and to our academic customers, such as the bright young minds that are going to use that technology to build better cars faster, better planes, better rovers, better robots. It really doesn't matter what you're making, as long as you're using technology that can help you move faster. We've seen in these awesome videos how important innovation is, but what enables innovation is the ability to do design exploration faster. Time is our enemy. When we're trying to bring new ideas to market before our competitors do, before the other teams do, and beat them, we need to move faster and be able to do more in the same amount of time than the other guys. So that's really at the heart of what our technology offers. We are now embracing this slogan, everything's AI, right? So AI-powered engineering. And that reminds me of a story that I read not long ago. You guys may have heard of this book by Malcolm Gladwell called Outliers. He's a fascinating author, in my opinion. I've read many of his books. And in that book, as those of you may know if you've read it, he dug into a lot of different people that were successful and wondered why, what made them successful. Not surprisingly, he said, brains, they got to be really smart. Drive, they got to be more driven than the guy next to them, so they're going to outcompete. But what was fascinating and what was the real catch of the book was being in the right place at the right time. And one of the stories that he shared, which make his book so readable, they're rooted in human stories, he said, think about Bill Gates and Steve Jobs. If those guys had been born 30 years earlier, they may never have had the chance to pioneer the computer industry. It wasn't ready. And if they had been born 30 years later, they would have missed that window and someone else would have pioneered it. So being in the right place at the right time is every bit as critical as being intelligent and driven. And boy, all of us know that the bright young minds that are powering the Solar Card team are intelligent and driven. And Siemens and previously Altair, now together, couldn't be happier than to be able to help you guys build digital twins, do more design exploration on the computer, because you know building a car, testing it in the lab, finding out what's wrong, then going back and fixing it is time consuming. And time is the enemy, right? It's our constraint, if you will. So building better products faster is what we're about, enabling you to do. And last but not least, helping you be real world ready. Every automotive company, every aerospace company, many other companies around the world that are doing product development are using technologies like ours to help them gain a competitive edge. And we're delighted to be able to help you guys do the same thing. So looking forward to winning another national championship this year. Love to see the new car. It looks amazing. Go Blue.
Hey y'all, my name is Caroline Reese. For this past year, as manufacturing and testing lead, I've had the opportunity to facilitate turning this team's ideas and designs into a tangible reality. Amidst the challenges of a physically larger car and a compressed timeline, we've had to adapt our approach to designing and building the car. The Michigan Solar Car team has strength in numerous and capable members. Freshmen work side by side seniors to simplify and refine the design of every system. The shifted timeline enabled their designers to see their projects from ideas to realities, driving around on our steel frame test car in the span of mere months. This test vehicle, welded with the guidance of our wonderful partners at Wartech, allowed us to verify our most exciting new systems like Millennium's completely custom steering. Weeks of testing in the bitter cold Michigan winters informed the designs you see on the stage here. In order to simplify the car, we had to come to terms with the vehicle's increased size. We took the top array surface of Millennium and split it in two pieces, making the car easier to open. So now we have the front upper and the rear upper, colloquially known on the team as the fupper and the rupper. As a result, it's possible for the driver to egress quickly and safely, without the need for historically complicated systems like the canopy lock, hinge, and stand. But that's just design and testing. Bringing this car to life took a lot more than the 18 of us standing on that stage. To make it to the start line on time, we had to manufacture all of the composites while also taking rigorous classes. In order to do this, we were fortunate enough to lean on our massive team, pulling people from all divisions to help with the thousands of hours of work needed to build the aerobody and the chassis of the car. Crafting these world-class carbon fiber composites required incredible attention to detail and perseverance through various long nights and days. This team has taken it in stride with help from our many sponsors, who have given us necessary materials, enlightening guidance, and essential support. We're immensely grateful for all of the contributions from Ford, Prochem, Fiaro, and especially Roush. Our members have had the opportunity to be mentored by folks from Roush, elevating the quality of our carbon fiber parts dramatically. My teammates who have collaborated most closely with the employees at Roush have a message that they'd like to share with them.
As many of our alumni will know, our car is manufactured by our general members, our race crew, and our Roush crew.
Yeah, my experience with Roush is a lot of early mornings, a lot of long days working, sometimes side by side with the other Roush employees. It's been a really great experience working with them and getting to know them.
Roush has offered us so much more than just the space. The people and the experience that they share with us has been really valuable in making our car, and it's really what brings all of the pieces together is watching them do their work and being able to implement that into our car.
So from autoclaves to things just for mold repairs, they really help us go from the plug that we get out of tooling board to the mold all the way to the part.
Without Roush, this car as we know it would not exist. They are integral to our success in building one of the fastest cars in the world. Without their breadth of experience and knowledge, I don't think we would have been able to create the car that we have today.
We are extremely proud to have you as one of our partners. Welcome, Roush.
All right, thank you. Wow, wonderful videography, you guys. I really appreciate it. I'm Dan O'Reilly. I'm humbled and honored to speak at this unveiling once again. The car is chock full of carbon fiber. It's got a ton of Roush Motorsports DNA built into it, so we know this thing is going to be fast. All right, the car looks amazing. Give these guys a hand. So we've already talked about it a lot. There's a lot of hours, a lot of hard work distilled into the product that's sitting in front of you. I personally know this team spent every waking hour in my shop. They were literally the last ones in the building, turning off the lights several nights. They worked so hard that the slivers, the cuts, the little things in their hands that you get from working with composites, they're battle scars to what these kids have gone through. I don't know who says, hard work ethics are dead. They're not with these kids. They're not even getting paid for it. So, I know the audience is made of a lot of proud parents. My parents actually happen to be here tonight with us. And with that, the support network that the families provide for these students allow them to do and accomplish what they've done. So thank you, parents. Thank you, Mom and Dad. Ann Arbor will always be a special place for me and my family. All three of my children were born here, and they are here with us tonight as well. I've been supporting the solar car team at U of M for almost 20 years now. I've seen all the previous cars, Astrum, Novum, Aurum, Electrum. I don't know how they name them, but there's definitely a trend. What's interesting about the solar car program compared to other organizations is the student groups, they turn over pretty quickly. So it's kind of rare that team members get to work on 2 successive cars. From my perspective, this means that I see the teams repeat a lot of the same mistakes. It's kind of like Groundhog Day. You guys might want to scribe some of these things you've learned on a big rock and put it outside the Wilson Center. Maybe something like the chassis doesn't need to be autoclaved. anyways, the accomplishment that you guys have gotten to here is incredible. And I hope the car is efficient as it looks. We've got a small gift for you from Roush. You can hang this upside down for Australia. All right, lastly, go fast, go smooth, go blue.
Hi everyone, I'm Sophia Wang, one of our race strategists this year. Some of you might be wondering, what does strategy do? Well, our job is to maximize what we get out of our car, not by building it or by wiring it, but by making decisions on how to use it. During the race, you'll find us in the support vehicle, trailing right behind the solar car, where we make every call that determines how we drive, when we charge, and how we win. Our strategy system has 4 core components that work together to make that happen. First, telemetry streams real-time data from every part of the car straight to the chase vehicle. We're talking thousands of data points every second: speed, power draw, temperatures, power generation, and more. Then comes data processing. It transforms that flood of information into live dashboards and stores it in a database so that we can analyze it later. At any moment, we know exactly what's happening in our car. Our third and most powerful tool is the simulator. It takes in everything we know about the car, the road, and with help from MeteoBlue, the weather, and tells us the fastest way to reach the finish line. And finally, Iron Fist. Our remote control system automatically adjusts the car speed to follow our strategy in real time, translating all of our plans into action. In 2023, all of these systems were either reimagined or built from the ground up. This year, we've had the privilege of working with a strong foundation, and we've taken these systems to the next level, refining interfaces, boosting performance reliability, and tracking down bugs. Good practice for racing in Australia, where there are bugs crawling into everything. With a robust system in place, we're ready to dream bigger. What if we could use high-performance AWS servers to brute force thousands of simulations in parallel? What if we launched a public-facing dashboard powered by Oracle so anyone around the world could follow our race in real time? We're not just solving problems anymore. We're asking, what more is possible? Thank you to everyone who has helped make our dreams become reality. We can't wait to show you what's next.
Solar racing is one of the world's most unique engineering challenges. At the end of the story, we're building a race car with all of the trade-offs that already entails that is solely powered by the sun. Over 200,000 hours of engineering go into building each one of our cars. But we do so not only to win a race, but to continue to accelerate towards a more sustainable future. Each one of our cars must be lightweight, reliable, and above all, extremely energy efficient in order to maximize the usage of all the energy we can capture from the sun. Our project sits at the crossroads of the automotive and renewable energy industries that US Steel is driving forward with this innovation. From sourcing critical materials for millions of solar trackers and racking systems, to developing next-generation ultra-lightweight steel for the chassis of the future. US Steel is working hard to innovate and make the future of solar, mobility, and steel more sustainable than ever. We are aiming to build the world's most efficient electric vehicle, and we are proud to do so with such great partners. Welcome, US Steel.
Hello, everybody. Just look at this thing. It's not a car. It's a piece of technological art. I look at it sitting on the stage here, and it looks as though it's going 100 miles an hour. So it's great to be here in Ann Arbor. I'm Christian Gianni. I am the Chief Technology Officer at US Steel. And it's an honor to be able to support such an accomplished team, America's most successful solar racing team. I'm especially excited to be doing this here in Michigan. Now, despite my accent, I've lived here for a few years and long enough to appreciate the irony of building something that's powered by the sun in Michigan. Perhaps that's why they have to go all the way to Australia to get some sun to race it. But maybe that's what makes this project even more powerful, because just as the sun fuels this solar car, it also symbolizes the energy behind our partnership. Our partnership with this extraordinary team reflects a shared belief that the brightest futures are built by combining raw power, solar and steel, with human ingenuity. At US Steel, we believe that innovation, like sunlight, is most powerful when it's harnessed towards productive ends, new processes, new products, new ways of building and powering the world. In other words, through hard work, dedication, innovation, and sometimes just a little luck, we are both transforming industries and propelling ourselves to a more sustainable future. Wow, what a team. Just listening tonight, you could feel the passion. Matthew, you've done a great job of leading this team, but you gave away your secrets. What I need to do, I need to go back, I need to employ a bunch of romantics and buy a bunch of Red Bull, purple Red Bull. Perhaps we'll be more successful. But seriously, we are very, very privileged to be part of helping the next generation of STEM talent build a bright future, one solar mile at a time. And speaking of the future, you are leaders and the best, and we want people like you thinking about careers at places like US Steel. We need innovators, those special people, as you said, problem solvers that can challenge the status quo and create great products. The University of Michigan Solar Car team is proving that clean energy doesn't mean compromise. It's also true for our high-tech steels. We make advanced lightweight steels where we can have performance and sustainability without compromise. And again, just as the sun powers this incredible vehicle here, our partnership empowers the students, equipping them with the tools and the materials and the mentorship that they need to drive the future of mobility. So, congratulations, and thank you to everybody that has been involved in this endeavor. So, ladies and gentlemen, we will watch as you successfully take on the world. So go blue.
Hi everyone, I'm Matt Dahlman, the 2025 Microsystems lead and one of our race electrical engineers. For 35 years, the Solar Car team has been designing and building electrical powertrains far longer than most commercial vehicle companies. In that time, we have developed the skills necessary to make a roadworthy and reliable vehicle that can travel at highway speeds on nothing but the power of the sun. Relying on this experience this year, our engineers focused on making the car as efficient and robust as possible. Our battery stores energy so that we can continue to drive when the sun is behind clouds, as well as save extra power that we're not using now for later on. We have fully assembled 2 battery packs using lithium-ion pouch cells from our local partner, npower Green Tech. The first of these packs is to test Millennium while we are in Australia prior to the race, and the second is for us to race on. At the start of Millennium's design, we were faced with the challenge of creating a pack with a capacity almost a third the size of the previous battery that we used in the Bridgestone World Solar Challenge in 2023. While the battery has less energy capacity than before, it's also significantly smaller and was specifically designed to reduce both area and weight. This is reflected by a 75% drop in our packaging weight. Both packs have also undergone extensive testing with the help of another new sponsor, Chroma.
Chroma allowed us to use their facilities as well as helped us design an extensive test suite so that we know that the batteries will be reliable in the outback. Significantly reduced battery demands that we focus on generating as much power from the sun as possible. The solar array is what truly makes Millennium a solar car. And at 6 square meters, it is 1.5 times the size of our previous monohull design. Not only is the array that much larger, but it's also 14% more efficient than our last silicon-based cells. Both of these improvements will be vital to driving in the Australian winter, which will not only be way colder, but will also provide a lot less sun than in any time in the competition's history. Our energy collection system also contains a brand new system, which is an array cell balancer that we developed with the help and technology of Optivolt. This system dramatically increases the energy collected when part of the array is shaded, such as when we undergo foliage or when the canopy casts a shadow. With the help of this system, we can actually make sure that all of our cells are performing their best at any given time. The balancer is not the only new feature on our car, however. For the first time as a team, Michigan will also have a custom motor. This motor is the most efficient motor that we've used in the history of our team and is fully integrated into both our electrical and our mechanical systems. With that, we would like to hear a few words from our race crew to talk about Ford.
Our solar cars are living reflections of Ford's mission. You cannot tell the story of the University of Michigan Solar Car team without mentioning our friendship. There is, physically, a piece of Ford in every one of our cars, but the truth is, your impact runs much deeper.
Our vehicles have been designed by alumni who are currently engineers at Ford, refined under the guidance of former Ford engineers, manufactured with your support, and tested in your wind tunnels. For over 32 years, we have shared a vision of innovation and growth in both our shared home of Michigan and in the future of mobility.
As we're gearing up for another World Solar Challenge across Australia, where Ford is celebrating 100 years of presence, you'll once again be the backbone of our journey. With our all-Ford vehicle caravan, we'll sail smoothly across the challenges of the outback.
It's safe to say that your legacy is in our history, in our identity, and in the future that we will continue to build. Welcome, Ford.
I have to say I'm speaking more as an alum than a Ford sponsor, but thank you so much. When the team asked me to speak today, I told them it would be hard to face the fact that I'm no longer a recent grad and that I've fully transitioned to being the old person on stage talking about how great these young students are. They said that there is, quote, no pressure to be the wise elder. You guys will have to report back if I succeed in being wise or if it turns out I'm just old. I came to the last unveiling in 2023, and I was surprised by how little the experience of being on the solar car team had changed. The speech the business director gave at that time shared so many similar themes to the speech that I had given as business director over a decade ago. At a moment in time when we're increasingly disconnected and glued to our devices, it is comforting to know that the experience being on the solar car team is largely unchanged. For better or worse, really, though. I remember my mom being worried about me when I was on the team. I was working so much, and I was exhausted. She didn't understand why I had to leave the house on Christmas Day to meet the car when it arrived back from Australia. My older brother, who I looked up to, said it was a mistake to forego my junior year internship to instead stay in Ann Arbor and work on the team. But I held my ground. I told them that we were trying to make the impossible possible every single day, and that we were gonna win the World Solar Challenge. In the end, the only reason I got a job at Google, went on to get an MBA at MIT, and now work in strategy at Ford was because of the work ethic and passion I developed on this team. So to all of the parents in the audience, rest assured, some of the bad choices your students are making can really pay off. Brian Ignat, the project manager of the Continuum team, always told me, "Julia, everyone wants to be part of something great." I believed him wholeheartedly, and those words fueled me during the hard times. They were also the catalyst for some wild speeches that I gave during recruiting events. I'll never forget the last line of my speech at a solar car informational at Roush. It went like this. Now that probably scared 95% of you, but that's okay. I only want the 5% that are truly exceptional. If there had been a mic, I would have dropped it. I remember talking to Brian a few years after he was out of school and joking, "Well, you know, Brian, everyone wants to be part of something great." He responded very seriously, "Yeah, that's not true. A lot of people don't really care." I was taken aback in the moment, but I also learned this lesson in time. A lot of people are content being ordinary. But for all of you on this team, that will never be the case. You have self-selected onto this team because you want to make the impossible possible. You want to do something great. And you will forever have the ability to bring the extraordinary to the organizations you are part of and to help inspire greater heights in the people around you who can't see as high. But that's only worthwhile if you know your why. The Infinium team's vision statement was to be the best solar car team in the world, leading in performance and innovation. We were careful not to define being the best simply as winning. To us, taking risks and pushing the envelope on innovation was important. We also aspired to be a team that didn't win at all costs, but instead helped other teams troubleshoot problems and lent out our spare parts when other teams needed them. To us, crossing the finish line first was boring if it was too easy and if our competition wasn't at their best. Maybe you haven't explicitly thought about your why, but it lives within you, and you can uncover it if you think about it for a minute. Knowing it will be your compass as you go out into the world. You're some of the brightest minds alive today, and companies will hire you to solve their greatest challenges. But if you don't know your why, one day you might wake up and realize you're building a world you don't want to live in. Very similarly to what Matthew said, when I was on the team, my why that drove me was the legacy I was part of. I pushed myself harder because I didn't want to let down the people who had come before me, who had also given everything to this team and built the foundation I inherited. But now that I'm a decade plus out, I can tell you that us alumni only feel pride for you. Don't get me wrong, we will be mad if you die on that one hill in Australia. Some of you know what I'm talking about. It's really tempting, and a lot of us have fallen victim to that temptation, but don't do it, it's not worth it. Other than that, if you represent the Block M with integrity, you work hard, you build a cool car that pushes the limits of the previous generation, you will have advanced our legacy. What we're actually entrusting you with is not a win at WSC, although it would be amazing to finally break that second place barrier. Instead, we're entrusting you with this precious experience of being on the Michigan Solar Car team that some of us have had the privilege to be part of. It's yours to cultivate and to pass on to the next students and the next generation so that for years to come, and when you cross over to the other side as alumni, and eventually as elders, you can sit in the audience during a solar car unveiling and listen to the stories of the current team that are so reminiscent of your own. So good luck in Australia, go fast, go smooth, go blue.
I now have the responsibility of closing tonight's ceremony out. It flew by. I think so many of you understand just how special this is for all of us. We've been working on Millennium for over a year now. I still remember I was out to dinner with my mom when they announced that the race was going to be in August, and I think it's the only thing I thought about for like the next week. It wasn't great because I just started my internship and I was already slacking off working on Solar Car. So it's an incredibly special experience. I want to tell you about probably the best part of Solar Car, in my opinion, to round this out. And it comes down to, I think, my favorite memory of being on Solar Car. It was the first day of race in 2023. Those of you who have heard this story before know that we started in dead last because we failed the qualifier due to an electrical issue. And so we started in 32nd. But throughout the course of the day, we passed 26 teams to end in 6th place. And it was incredible. It was harrowing. I didn't believe we were going to do it, but once we'd done it, I realized that maybe there was something a lot more to all of us than we had initially realized. And I specifically remember we had, had our race crew chili mac and gave Baker a haircut, and then we all sat down and looked around to see, look at each other and just how we were feeling. And I remember thinking to myself, by gosh, I think every single person here, I can personally think of a time where I saw them today doing something critical, where without them, it wouldn't have been 26 teams. It may have been 0 teams, or it may have been 24, but without them, it wouldn't have been any. It would not have been such a special day. And I feel something similar now, especially when I look at this group of 17 that I have the honor and privilege and a tremendous responsibility of leading. This is an incredibly special group of young people who have apparently a very good group of parents, and we're incredibly lucky to have your support. So I hope you'll join us in the grand foyer after this. We have lots and lots of refreshments. I didn't hold back the business team because they finally wanted to spend some money on some catering. So yes, please join us and go blue. Thank you.